Back here on CBS Sports HQ, finally we can say it. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP. The Bills coming off a 13-4 season, the AFC East champs. But the narrative of the championship window and can the Bills still win a Super Bowl is still very much alive. Is this year going to be any different? Can they get over the hump that is the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes? Our very own Evan Washburn caught up with the league MVP at Bills training camp to preview the upcoming season. Take a listen.
Well, Josh, great to see you again. Our annual training camp chat, and I appreciate them every year. It's wild. This is year 8 of doing this.
Year 8.
When I say that to you, what comes to mind?
Feels like I'm getting old. Still feel young at the heart, though. But training camp's my favorite thing. Getting to be here with the guys and develop and build that team chemistry and the camaraderie that you need to be successful. But yeah, year 8. It feels like year 3 or 4, to be honest. Like it's been such a blur. Learned a lot over the years, still a lot more to learn, and we're just trying to get better.
It does move fast, but I'm curious from a physical and mental standpoint where you feel like you are in your development as an athlete and as a football player as you embark on year 8.
Well, I think they say male physical peak is like 28 to 32. So
I thought it was 40. That's
it
too
might
bad.
They're starting to say that.
Aaron's going to agree with me when I ask him that.
But yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
Body feels really good. This off season. Again, it's the best that I felt physically after a season. I didn't take too many big hits last year, and hopefully we can do the same thing this year. But being smart, getting down, and the coin term, availability is your greatest ability. So I got to continue to stay up with my training, nutrition, and rehab, and making sure that I can stay on the field.
You mentioned off-season. This is always one of the questions I ask you. What's an area or areas, generally speaking, that you prioritized? You won the MVP. So on paper, and I know this isn't your reality, you got it. You figured it out. You've mastered the position. But that's not how it works for the great ones. So what was your thought going into this offseason from a quarterbacking position?
Yeah, well, looking at last year's film, just the amount of times my feet and my eyes were starting in the wrong spot or weren't matched up or weren't synced together. And that's where I do feel like there's so much more potential in this offense for me, and there's so much more room for me to grow. Making sure that, again, mechanically I'm sound. I'm still working on that each and every day, really. But matching my eyes and my feet up within our offensive system so I can get through our progressions a little bit quicker and put the ball where it needs to be. So I'm looking forward to that.
I understand your goals are always team-oriented, but what did an MVP do for you?
Still here, year 8 at camp. We're trying to get better. That's honestly, it's such a cool accomplishment in terms of your. It's like a career achievement in your field, and that's the cool part about it. But other than that, it's just an accolade that you take off and you enjoy for the night, and you kind of forget about it. I hear it. I know that there's a lot of chants, and the crowd loves it. But again, I'm just trying to find other ways to continue to get better and help this team win football games.
When I was getting ready to come out here, I'm thinking about the Bills as a whole, but specific to the offense, and the word that came up for me that a lot of people have used is continuity. Whether it's the staff, Joe Brady, your offensive line, all 10 back. What does continuity allow you to do?
Well, I think you understand each other. The communication that you have is consistent. And on top of that, you can just do more. You know more. The verbiage that you have doesn't have to change. Nobody's learning a system from the beginning. Obviously, we had a couple guys, Palmer and Elijah Moore, but other than that, mostly everybody that we had last year, and we had such a great year in terms of just the way that we were able to operate last year on our offense. So, again, there's still a lot of things to improve on, and that's the fun part.
Yeah, last year was Everybody Eats, and I saw Joe rocking the hat during his presser early in the week. What does Everybody Eats 2.0 look like?
Same thing, guys going and doing their job, receivers blocking, running downfield, following the ball, picking up fumbles if there are any, guys running clear out routes. We call them Joe Brady routes where you're not going to get the ball, but you're opening it up for your teammate. Because in turn, the next play, that very teammate that you just sprung open could be springing you open. So that's our mentality. Everybody could get the ball at any given time. And again, we're just trying to play for each other.
How often do you allow yourself to think of what it is you want to accomplish this year as a team, recognizing where you are in the process of setting the foundation? Because you're a human being that wants those things, has been on the precipice of those things, but you also know that you can't rush it.
Well, I mean, I think it's just continuing to love the process and not being so result-oriented. I think that's kind of when you get in trouble, is when you've got your eyes set on one thing and one thing only. You know, we're just going to continue to come out here, build our team, try to get better each and every day, and take it one game at a time.
What have you learned in now almost 8 years in this league about process and how a season progresses to avoid the inevitable of, I want to think about what's next?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, again, the continual growth of us as a team, as individuals. And sometimes I've come to grips with this. Sometimes the ball's going to bounce the other way, and you got to be okay with that. And that's where it's like, I gave my best effort. I put out everything that I could do, and sometimes, you know, when that ball's in the air, the wind could change, and it takes it the other way. And that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But hey, we're gonna keep putting our head down and keep working hard.
As someone who loves sports as much as you do, whether it's football, golf, anything else you've played, is that part kind of maddening, though, that you can do everything that is asked of you, and the result is at times literally out of your hands? Yeah,
it's maddening, but at the same time, I think it helps put things in perspective in terms of what really matters in your life, and you figure out what that is fairly quickly. And you know, Scotty Scheffler had that really good interview right before the Open that spoke a lot to me, and I really appreciate him sharing those words. But yeah, it's kind of crazy where you're just kind of coming out here and you're doing everything that you can for a quick enjoyment of it, and then you're on to the next. And it's like the MVP award. It's like I don't look back and think about that night. Like, it happened, it was over with, and I'll never think about it again, to be honest. Like, I'm so moved on to trying to help this team win football games this year.
Yeah, I could see how it's oddly comforting to know that no matter, and I feel like I had this conversation with Tom Brady at one point along the way as a group. We were getting ready for a Super Bowl. Him understanding that whether they won it or lost it, the sun was going to come up, and in his case, he was going to have to be a dad. I mean, I think it takes time to get to that place, but I imagine that allows you, and Scotty spoke to it, that, you know, it doesn't change the approach, but it maybe changes the level of angst that you feel.
For sure. And going out there and playing free, and again, I think the main thing that we always preach here is just playing for each other and putting your best stuff out there. And as long as you're doing everything right, and you know, you can hope and pray for the best, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But we really do hope that it does happen.
Yeah, keep giving yourself shots.
Yeah.
Look, man, I always enjoy this. Excited for you guys this year, and we'll see you down the road.
Awesome. Again, appreciate you.
Thanks, Brian.
You're the man.
All right, thanks so much, Evan. Great stuff as always. And the CBS Sports HQ training camp tour continues. On Saturday, I'm going to be out there at Dolphins camp with Pete Prisco. Pete is going to continue on and do the Bucs on July 28th, and then the Jags on July 29th. We also have the Lions and the Ravens, Eagles, Vikings, Chargers, and then July 30th, we have the Chiefs. Evan Washburn is going to be out there, and Haley Sutton is going to be out at Cowboys camp.